What a beautiful fucking Wednesday we got here. I'm feeling a little under the weather. What's fucking new?
Wish I would have known that before I gave you a high five.
Yep. Thankful to be alive. Everyone, grab yourself a refreshment and have yourself a slurp. JX Soto sitting here with him. Thank you very much, Gloria Tells, for warming us up this evening. And everyone always asks me what fucking song that is. It's You're the Only One for Me, Gloria Tells. That starts us out. Episode 66, beautiful. Now we got a newsletter. Each week we got a newsletter. If you don't have time to watch our podcast, the stuff that sticks out to me, stuff that I think is important, we're putting in a newsletter each week, and that link will be in the description. So click on that newsletter, subscribe for your weekly shit. And then this episode is sponsored by patreon.com/RedHawkAcademy, where content's going up there all the time. Extra pod a week, extra content all the time. I'm always replying to the messages on there. We're doing giveaways every month. If you support the pod, patreon.com/RedHawkAcademy, or click that subscribe button and click the bell for some notifications. We're sitting here. We got JX Soto, we got Ricky Schmitt, and we got Warlike.
Nikki.
Warlike is one of our buds from Canada, came down. He thinks he could fuck up Roxanne Modafferi in a fight, and I'm just thinking he couldn't.
Well, damn, that's always going to be the thing we start with now, eh?
Yes, it is.
Roxanne, if you're watching, I will be in Las Vegas this weekend, Friday, Saturday. See you there.
And Warlike is currently a white belt. He's been training for a while, but he's probably pretty close to blue belt. But the thing that makes me question is his favorite choke's the Buggy choke. So he just lets people just pass his guard and prays he can catch him in that. So that's what makes me question a little bit. I
don't go for it all the time, but I mean that's my favorite choke. I like being unorthodox.
Yeah. Warlike's the one we usually game with on Xbox. So if you're ever popping in my lives, usually Warlike's on there. There's a video of him sparring Sean. He thought he could beat up Sean a long time ago, and he ended up fighting Schmitt too. It was good. Some people would call it the Dunning-Kruger effect, and let me tell you what that is. And you might know some people in your lives that have this effect.
Okay.
The Dunning-Kruger effect occurs when a person's lack of knowledge and skills in a certain area cause them to overestimate their own competence. By contrast, this effect also causes those who excel in a given area to think the task is simple for everyone and underestimate their relative abilities as well. So
yeah, I think that would just be wrong because I don't underestimate my abilities. I just know what I can do, you know?
Okay, there we go. That's Dunning-Kruger there for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's run through the fight predictions real quick. Last week I fucked up and forgot to do that, and then we got a bunch more shit to talk about. There's a lot of drama in the news. There's a lot going on. And then we have the question, Patreon Q&A.
Beauty.
There's a bunch of questions that we'll go over, and we'll try to get them all covered. So, real quick, Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed. Jan Blachowicz is probably going to win. I mean,
really?
Probably. Magomed's fucking scary as fuck and always could knock someone the fuck out, but it's going to be hard to say. We'll see.
I got Magomed too.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Just explosive, scary. You got him by KO or? Hard to say.
Decision.
I think that one goes 5 for sure. Magomed only has one defeat in the UFC, and that was to Paul Craig, and that was a last-second triangle choke. He's going to be tough to finish, and same with Jan, unless Jan quits like he did against Glover.
Yeah, did he quit?
I think he quit in that fight against Glover.
Huh. I'd have to rewatch that one because I got to rewatch that one. But Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. It's a big moment for Jared Gordon. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Jared Gordon's good everywhere. He's not great anywhere. Paddy's got the size advantage. I think it's a perfect fight for Paddy to get a finish. Co-main event, a lot of pressure on both. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Submission Paddy.
Paddy first round finish.
Yeah, I could see it.
Them long arms are getting him.
Alex Moreno versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Cool short notice fight. I was hoping they put Brian Bam Bam Barberine in there, but I don't know if he got suspended from getting choked by Rafael dos Anjos. But that would have been a banger. Brian's always in shape. He always brings the fucking fight. But now we got Alex Moreno, who's always fun to watch.
Yep.
He's a kid that I've heard from people who train with him. They're like, he's not that great, but then he just shows up and he fights. He just rises up to the occasion, so he's fun to watch. And then we got Darren Till fucking hope to see Darren Till get back on track. I don't want to see him leave the UFC or just get demoralized anymore. I'd love to see Darren Till get back on track, so we'll see. And then Bryce Mitchell versus Leah Topuria. That Leah Topuria dude is fucking dangerous, bro.
He is. He's short, though. He's really short in real life.
Imagine if Leah Topuria was fighting Patty Pimblett. It's a different fight.
Different weight classes, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Even still, though.
Yeah, very strong dude.
Who do you think's the stronger one? That's the one I want to know between the two.
What do you mean stronger?
Who do you think's
What way?
in grappling? Who do you think's going to be the one holding the other one down?
I don't think that Patty's style isn't that. He doesn't hold people down past their guard and really work to take their back and finish them. He takes them down and tries to punch them. I don't know. I guess I really haven't seen Leah Topuria grapple that much, but the combos he throws on his feet are ferocious.
Well, Topuria fought Ryan Hall, and he defended all of his grappling attacks really easily and then knocked out Ryan Hall. So,
yeah, I mean, he had a great game plan against Ryan Hall, the Leah Topuria. It's just like block all the shit that Ryan Hall does with your head.
And that's kind of the same thing that Bryce Mitchell's going to show him, though, this weekend with a lot of takedowns, a lot of like cardio output.
I think Bryce Mitchell's style is a little bit different than Ryan Hall's. I think Bryce
Slightly,
Mitchell be more of a wrestler. I'm going to try to get on top, get in half guard, pass the guard, compared to Ryan Hall, inverting underneath and trying to get underneath with your legs. So those are kind of the main fights that stick out.
We got the 18-year-old Raul Rojas Jr. too going on the prelims.
And a perfect fight for him.
Yeah, perfect versus
Jay
Perrin.
Perrin. Yep, I think he'll be able to get it done. And then we got Chris Curtis, Joaquin Buckley. Sweet fight.
Good fight for the fans.
Sweet fight. And then, that's good. So, some fight predictions. You boys are taking off to Vegas this week, ready to let loose at the Zook Resort. JX, Schmitty are rolling on the private jet, and then the rest of the boys meeting them there, and you guys are going to go ham. Huh?
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. And thanks to you for hooking us up with a little extra mushies.
Got some mushrooms. You're going to bring them to Vegas?
No, I think actually me and War are going to probably trip those tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before Vegas. Have a little ego death. Yeah. And Sean surprised me for my 30th birthday with the first PJ. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, that'll be a good experience for you. So here's some stuff in the news. Conor McGregor, well, Joe Rogan said he's taking his shirt off about Conor and posing constantly. He looks like his piss would melt that USADA cup. Like it would, just like a burn hole right through the bottom of that. Like it would just burn a hole right through the bottom of that USADA cup. So he's calling out Conor. Conor comes back and says, Joe looks like his piss melts his knickers. In the company, what's knickers?
Pants.
Okay, melts his pants. In the company that long and never took a fight. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Taekwondo competition. Call the cops.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. I mean, Conor's not wrong. Because a lot of the times Joe is talking about like, when I'm fighting mixed martial arts, I'm like, you're fighting Taekwondo. That's quite a bit different. I mean, the full contact Taekwondo, you still can knock people out, and it's still a pretty close to a fight, but not a fight. It's Taekwondo. Like I said, you're trying to smack them with your toes, and you're trying to smack them with your feet. So sometimes when Joe's talking about like, I'm fighting, he never says that to the actual fighters. But Joe, I don't even know if they had MMA back then. I don't even know back then when he was doing competitive Taekwondo if they had sanctioned mixed martial arts bouts, because it is quite a bit different. And Conor called that out. So
Conor right now, dude, online is like Donald Trump. He's like of the MMA. Yeah, dude. I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I think it's fucking funny too.
It's just building back that eventual return, and it's just going to be huge.
For sure. I mean, definitely Conor's on some HGH.
Oh, yeah.
You can see his bone structure growing, and you can just see his face.
His chin
his
is
ears,
just huge.
He's just getting huge. But fuck, dude. I mean, why not? You got the bread for it. HGH is really expensive, I heard, and it's going to re-heal your bones stronger than anything else. You'd almost be dumb not to do that if you can get away with it like he is.
What's this USADA testing pool loophole that they're talking about? Because even Henry's now kind of talking about it with TJ. So apparently you can retire, do something, get out of the USADA testing pool, and then be able to get back in. And obviously that's what Conor's doing for his injury, maybe.
Yeah, and then you get in the pool for 6 months, and then they start.
What is that all like? I'm
not 100% sure, but it must be that if you want to compete, you have to be in the USADA pool for 6 months. Mm-hmm. So you can get out of the USADA pool, technically retire, and you get taken out of the USADA whereabouts and stuff. When you're ready to come back, they're going to test you for 6 months until you compete. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So.
Damn, I wish somebody told Nick Diaz about that when he came back.
Dude, isn't that the truth? Get Nick on some HGH.
For real.
Get him on the fucking good sauce. So that's interesting. And then, Connor's been going off. And then TJ Dillashaw removed and retired. I mean, for TJ, it's like, dude, he's 36, right? 36 years old. He had a crazy fucking long career. He blew out his shoulder, which is going to take another year to come back. He's got businesses. He's got kids. It's like, give the guy a break. It's like, maybe it's a good time to retire.
He's fought everyone, too. It feels like you look at that bantamweight list, it's like, who would be next for, or like, who's new for him? Like, after just losing the fight that he did, like, who's he going to fight next? A Sun Tzu? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I always wanted him on a Sean highlight.
I mean, him and Sean would have been a fucking crazy fight, especially healthy TJ.
Yeah.
When TJ fought Henry Cejudo, I think a swift breeze would have knocked TJ out that night.
he looked terrible at the scale the day before.
Yeah, I just didn't think that was healthy at all. So, next week I'm having Henry Cejudo's head coach Eddie Cha on the pod.
Oh,
and we're gonna have some discussions on why he thinks Henry's gonna fuck Sean up.
That's gonna be fire.
That's gonna be a really nice.
Looking
podcast.
forward.
Yeah, and Eddie Cha used to coach at the MMA lab. Very good coach, and he remembers Sean as the little buck snort he was, just a little teenage skinny kid with no grappling. He doesn't know Sean now.
Yeah.
The bigger savage Sean. So it's going to be a interesting combos. I was doing I did a video breakdown on Henry, and I put it on Patreon yesterday. Henry's never fought no one like Suge. He's not fought anyone close. I mean, Dominic Cruz, you watch that fight with Dominic Cruz would just kind of lunge in and collide with him and just be sloppy. He's never fought someone like Sean who can punch at the end of his punches. He can knock people out with both hands.
The height. Sean's gonna make him look like a little elementary kid.
Yeah, and rumor has it there's a guy we know over there, and these are all rumors, but a guy that I know who's not that great at jiu-jitsu and that submits Henry all the time when they roll.
Really?
So I'm like, well, you go into a fight with Sean. Sean's got some tricks. He's got some tricks. Some submissions that can put motherfuckers to sleep, especially guys that aren't used to training with him. So that possibly could happen. Imagine Sean cracks Henry. Henry's like, fuck, I got to take him down. And
right into that high elbow.
Or gets slept somehow, yeah. So.
And what's so cool with that coach is he has no idea that Sean today would beat the shit out of the contender series Sean.
Yeah, he'd KO him first round, probably first 2 minutes. The kid was too small. Antibiotics, Dustin Poirier, fucking foot, dude. How scary would that be? I've had staph a couple times. I've had staph where a streak of it's running up my leg before one of my jiu-jitsu competitions, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. So, before antibiotics, dude, when were antibiotics even invented?
It's got to be in just over 100 years, probably, I'd say.
Because before then, it's like, holy shit, people aren't... That leg staph I had, I would have been dead. Or they chop off my leg and then that's it. Dustin Poirier's in the hospital right now. He's got staph and the antibiotics are not working.
You ever seen Master and Commander?
No.
Dude, that's a good... Dude, you said no. It's a good one where you learn a lot with that. Like what they didn't have antibiotics and what you had to deal with getting your arm or leg cut off. You should watch... Doctor performs surgery on himself while he's awake. And he's the only one that's a doctor. And he takes a bullet out of himself.
Jesus. I mean, I would have been croaked multiple times. Without antibiotics?
Yeah.
What would they do with strep throat when you don't have antibiotics? Or some of these bad fucking viral infections? It was in 1928 at the St. Mary's Hospital, Alexander Flemings discovered penicillin. This discovery led to the introduction of antibiotics that greatly reduced the number of deaths from infection. Fuck. Thank God for Alexander Flemings. Or we'd all be fucked. Really fucked.
For real.
Did you guys get sick? You get the sickness, Schmitty?
I haven't gotten it.
Around? Wow.
Haven't gotten it yet.
Maybe it's something with that DQ or McFlurries that's keeping you alive.
No, I think it's just big, bald, and beautiful, baby.
Could be.
Yeah.
Or did you get sick?
No, I think my Dunning-Kruger prevented me from it.
100%. 100% it did. Gut bacteria linked to depression. A pair of new newly published studies show depression and correlated with certain types of gut bacteria. Trillions of microorganisms, including yeast, fungi, and bacteria, live in humans' digestive organs. Their presence or absence can be linked to the health issues. The new studies tested people's stool samples to analyze the microorganisms in their gut while monitoring them for depression. Depression symptoms were correlated with 13 bacterial groups. Some theorize that certain gut bacteria produce chemicals that can cause or prevent depression. Others theorize depression impacts the gut bacteria. Yeah, so if you're feeling depressed and you eat like shit, there's one of your answers, one of your big answers. If you're constantly eating like shit, like, oh, I'm just a fucking bitch all the time and just feeling like a pussy all the time, and then you go get your Cheetos and just start eating your Cheetos and your soda or whatever the fuck you're eating, that's probably the reason. So maybe Google how to eat healthy. I know it's hard. I know it's crazy. It's like this hack that a lot of people don't know about. But Google how to eat healthy and they'll teach you. It's crazy.
I think that just boils down to like look good, feel good type mentality. Like if you know what you're eating clean, you're feeling clean, you're gonna be performing well. Mm-hmm. It's just all around.
Yeah. Do you think you can be a top G without eating healthy?
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because if you know how to eat healthy and don't eat healthy, then there's a lack of discipline. And I think to be a top tier person, you need a heavy amount of discipline.
But then what would your counter argument be to people like George Masvidal who can work out and they're freak, but then they'll go get 2 McDoubles from McDonald's after their training?
Dude, I've seen so many people like that. So many people that are way fucking more durable than me. I'm like, I try to do all the shit right. I try to stretch, try to eat healthy, try to do all this. And I'm just, I get hurt like a bitch all the fucking time. And then I got these guys who can just eat McD's all the time and just be studs. Floyd Mayweather. That's a good argument right there.
Yeah. Do you know what's going on? Sean's been talking about the all-natural flavoring. Do you know anything about that? He says he's going to stop it. He's like, I'm about to quit drinking or eating stuff with all-natural flavoring.
What did he say about it?
He didn't. He just said studies or something are showing it's not really that good for you. I guess I should have looked up more stuff. I thought maybe you would know.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I'm sure. Any type of fake, made-up, man-made shit most of the time probably doesn't digest well. He
was talking about Zevias. He was saying how it's all natural flavor. He's like, and he said, I'm about to give up Zevias.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a sad day.
What do you think? I'm like, man, what's Timbo going to do without a Zevia?
Yeah, the kid Zevias, I love slurping on those. Yeah. But Thorne supplements has these amino acids and this magnesium, and you mix it up in your water. You got to try it sometimes, and it's just like the fucking best Kool-Aid you'd ever taste.
Really?
It's so fucking good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, War, how many times a week are you training jiu-jitsu?
Right now I'm aiming for 4 every week. So our schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon for no-gi, which I prefer doing no-gi, and then Tuesday, Thursday at 7:30. So I'll try and hit 4 throughout the week, ideally.
Nice. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to maintain a good schedule.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So you guys, War came down, surprised the boys, go to Vegas. Did that surprise you guys?
Oh, dude, shock. Well, you get scared. Every time Sean comes in, he's like, I got a surprise, guys. And the phone's up. You get a little nervous. Uh-huh. But then it was Warlike, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some of these questions. There's a lot, so I don't know if we'll be able to get through them all, but we can try.
Hell yeah.
LL Puff Daddy, how would you use stoicism for death of a young buck, 20-year-old family member who took his own life? What do you think happens when you die? Dude, I'm so thankful that's never happened. Like someone in my family commit suicide. That would be so hard to live with. And I've seen close friends where that severely fucks them up, like mentally. So I don't know. Like I would try to maybe research some different therapists and different psychologists and see what the experts would do. How the experts, or maybe even save your money and go get therapy once and just see what the experts do. Because there's people that are literally mind mechanics out there. They can help you rewire shit in your mind so it doesn't ruin your life and take over your thoughts. So that's probably what I would do. What do you think happens when you die? Fuck, dude. I don't even have a, there's this book out, I don't remember what it's called, but it talks about people that flatline, they died, and all of them have a similar experience where they all kind of rose above their body and were looking down at their body. A whole book of people that said that, and they're different people. So I'm like, phew, that's pretty scary. But
I think it kind of depends on how you go out. Like, I think if you go out quick, like if you shot yourself or a car accident or something that was just really quick and damaged your brain, I think it's different. I think if you die naturally or slowly, I think your brain is going to release its last shoot, like Joe Rogan's even said, like a dream. And, you know, when you're in a dream, time is irrelevant. And I feel like when our brain releases all that shit, we're just going to have one last little trip. Because I've lost friends to suicide. I've been around many people, my family members, who are dying in front of me, and they say things where they remember memories before, like, where's Dave? Like the passed away grandpa, where's Dave at? Where's Dave at? It's because they're seeing shit because their brain's fucking releasing its last juice. So that's what I kind of think.
Yeah.
For your last little black and then gone.
And then just gone forever.
Yeah, I think so. Dude,
get reincarnated as someone else.
Or maybe come back
else.
one day. Dude, think about how much time happened before we even opened our eyes. So much. So long. So much happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the lady down the couple complexes down says you're living out previous lives that you've lived before. And she goes by your numerology, she called it. Mm-hmm. She was on the pod. It was a pretty interesting pod. So, yeah, I don't know, El Puff Daddy. Fuck. I don't know.
Deep.
Gino Forte, that was a weird question, Gino. We're going to skip that one. Jake, Timbo, brother, I hope you and Mariah are well. What are some of your favorite hobbies outside of training, coaching that help you avoid burnout? I love gaming with the boys. Nothing better than going home, not worried about shit. You log on with 4 of your buddies, drop into Battle Royale, and it's just you and the boys in war trying to fucking make it out alive.
And have some good belly laughs.
Oh, yeah. And have some good fucking laughs when you start roasting each other.
Fucking Trevor.
I miss Schmitty on the Warzone.
I'm sorry, Captain. Oh, God. Now that the fact that you said that, I'm going to do it.
Oh, dude. Yeah, just too good of memories. So that's probably up there with my favorite hobbies outside of just training and coaching.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys ever get your T levels checked? Recently on the Greenfield podcast, he said chronic ganja use can lead to lower testosterone. Do you agree? I wonder what Gardner says about this. I imagine Sean is getting his T checked. Yeah, he actually is getting his testosterone checked, but Sean doesn't smoke that much. He acts like a stoner. He's a fake stoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's not really a stoner.
Are you more of a stoner than Suga Shane?
I would say probably. I don't know. Out of fight camp, we probably smoke similar. In fight camp, he smokes a lot less, and I'm still burning. So I think this is how I got sick. It's just I fucking back to back smoked like 4 or 5 pre-rolls this weekend just cause I was pissed about not being able to train. I think that's kind of what made me sick. But I think the pre-rolls, I mean, not an expert. Mariah says the pre-rolls is they use all the extra weed, all the kind of the shittier weed, and they just jam it into the pre-rolls. So I'm like, that could have been why I got sick or what got me.
Could be.
I haven't got my T checked for a long while, but I feel like it's good. I wake up harder than a rock every day. Always have good energy. I'm never really mopey. I feel like it's good. So,
can we rewind that real quick, Kevin?
Yeah, let's hear it.
You were upset that caused you to do something that you normally don't do.
Smoke those joints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, but I wasn't really out. I'm never really outwardly mopey. People don't really know it. It's just inside. I smoke it, I burn it, and then I know what gets me out of being mopey though. Just like feeling bad for myself is just getting my heart rate up, getting a little sweat, doing fucking something.
Yeah.
But dude, this shoulder's pissing me off, especially the jiu-jitsu worlds. I'm going there today. I leave to Anaheim today. I got a student, and I wish I was competing in the jiu-jitsu world so fucking bad. But next year is the year to do it.
Yep. You and me both.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yes. CJ Jasper, what is your biggest regret in your fighting career? Do you ever wish you were still in the cage? I know you love coaching, but do you ever wonder what could have happened if things went differently? I'm trying to think if I regret something in my fighter career. Because I'm like, okay, if that wouldn't have happened, if I wouldn't have broke my jaw, I won that fight, okay, I get in the UFC, win some fights, who knows what would have happened? Who fucking knows? But I don't really regret anything. That happening put me on this path. It put me with this community I have. It put me owning these businesses and put me on the path I'm on with. I'm like, it's hard to say. I know a lot of people want to see me fucking rumble again. And if there's something that comes that's interesting where I'm like, yes, I would love to fuck this guy up for this amount of money, then yeah, I would take a couple, 3 months and get in shape and do it. Do you ever wish you were still in the cage? I'm never looking anymore. I've gotten past that. I've accepted where I'm at. I'm never like, God, I just wish I was in the cage.
You don't have those weeks where you just really want to get in there and maybe do a spar that week or like.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because I know a lot of people really, really want to see the Red Hawk soar again.
Just fucking let the tits swing again.
Well, dude, you're the perfect example of like when something doesn't go the right way in life and you don't know what it's for, and then something better happens.
Take the hand you're dealt, baby.
Yeah, literally.
You're the example of it.
Yeah. So that's why I mean, like that at that time, I was like, this is the worst thing fucking ever. I've just dedicated my whole life to this craft, and it's just this shit keeps fucking happening to me. Like I said, it led me on the path, switched paths a little bit, and it's even fucking better for me.
What was your first thought? Like when you were down in the dumps, you're like, fuck, this fighting career isn't it. What do I do? When was that?
I was just like, there's a couple options. I can keep grinding, just keep grinding and just keep getting surgeries and just be a broke person. Because at this point, I've had 22 professional fights, and I'm in debt to some promotions for medical bills. I'm like, I'm fighting for these guys. I fucking hurt myself. I'm making them money, and now I'm getting the bills for some of these surgeries and shit. I'm like, I want to be smart here. Let me think with my fucking intellectual brain and not just my ego brain that wants to be tough and wants to be respected by everyone. So I looked at it from a different view, and I'm like, let's maybe switch paths and just try to be smart, a little bit more of like a businessy person. I don't want to be broke my whole life. That was your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Connor Klaus, what's going to be your big next purchase? New car, house, rollie? I'd like to get a Airbnb close to the gym here, because it's right by Westgate. There's a football stadium. There's concerts going on every fucking weekend right in this little area. So probably my next big purchase will be a house to Airbnb out.
That's sick.
Garrett, would love to hear your thoughts on how to get back into the dating scene after a divorce. Was divorced at 28 and 32 now, struggling to open myself back up and be willing to be vulnerable and trust. I bet that's hard, dude. I bet that's hard, especially you get married to someone and you really put all your trust in them and you really trust this person, and then you find out somehow that they're lying to you or they were lying to you. It'd be like, damn. So anybody could just be lying to me all the time. So that would be hard. But for that, Garrett, I would just be like, dude, I would just try to fucking
surround yourself with your friends, man.
Yeah, and get dialed in yourself.
Yeah.
Dude. Just get dialed in yourself. Maybe join a group fitness somewhere, join some jiu-jitsu where you're around a bunch of positive people that are uplifting. And I think it's hard with girls though these days with the internet and the Tinder shit. It's hard.
Don't give up all your cards, because I kind of been doing that where I'm looking at myself and I'm like, man, don't give too much that they don't need in anything really, like conversations about anything, because then that's when you kind of, if they do lie, then you'll get hurt. And it's like, just accept that everyone might lie. And even if it's just human nature, and don't let it bother you. And because if you open yourself up for it to hurt, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, but eventually, you're going to have to open yourself up. Maybe you get with a girl and you've been with her for 5 years. Like, this is the most trustworthy person I've ever been with. And then you you open up, you give her, and then she cheats or something. Yeah. Or she was lying. So it's fucking hard. I get it where he's coming from.
Yeah. You can't be afraid to take chances though at the same time.
Yeah, I can't define every person just because that one person fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Kind of where I was going. I'm a little stoned.
Yeah, that's all right. What do you wish you spent more time doing 5 years ago? That's a fucking good question. But honestly, probably YouTube.
I would agree. I would probably, for me, even just like jiu-jitsu, I wish I started 5 years ago instead of 4 years ago. Like every time that like something you're doing right now, like YouTube, jiu-jitsu, the more time you get at it, the better. So I mean,
yeah, things you enjoy doing, but definitely YouTube, because I'm like, you start seeing yourself get paid from YouTube, you're like, damn. And now YouTube's just, there's fucking everyone doing YouTube. But 5 years ago, when there wasn't as many people, you start grinding back then. By now, you'd be making some pretty hefty bread.
Yeah, and even back then in YouTube, you were making more money with AdSense.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah, you were. There was a huge ad purge, which like cut YouTubers' pay a lot. But you used to be making way more back then.
I also wish 5 years ago I would have got this eye surgery. This fucking eye surgery is amazing, dude. And anyone with glasses or contacts, you don't realize how big of a handicap it is until you have good eyes. I really wish I'd had good eyes during fighting. That would have been fucking nice, because that was always a pain in the ass. Having contacts, first little flurry of contacts is sideways, or then now there's one out. Now you got to adjust, and it's just a fucking huge pain in the ass. So the eye surgery was a big one that I would do. Does Mariah do any horse riding lessons? Right now she doesn't, just because she has racing horses, so she doesn't really have any horses to give people lessons on. They fucking haul too much ass. You and Kruger must have encountered some people with bad intentions. Do you have any stories on how you figure out these people weren't genuine? Usually, I mean, with people like that, it's gonna come out eventually, especially with Sean, like way more than me. There's guys always coming out of the woodwork now that want to partner up with Sean, that want to help Sean out, but they're just looking at him like he's dollar signs. And some people are good at. I mean, at the beginning, they'll spew that this is what I can do for you. We're a family now. This is us. Blah 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 blah. They're fucking experts at it. But then you find out down the road, it's like, damn, they're just a bunch of fucking scammers.
Yeah.
And the higher level you get, the more scammy people get.
Everyone wants to feed themselves first.
Yeah. Top 3 fighters you dislike.
Luke Rockhold, number 1.
I could see that.
And then other than that, not really anyone else.
How about you, War?
See, it's going to sound bad now, but even before his last fight, it was Derek Minner. Even before he threw the last fight. So when I look at his Tapology record, just a shitty fighter. Like every single one of his finishes was first round guillotine in the first 40 seconds where a guy shoots in and he wraps it up and squeezes the shit out of it. And then every single one of his losses is the fight that makes it over 3 minutes. Yeah. So I just thought, I'm like, you shouldn't be fighting in the UFC if you can't make it more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, fighters to dislike. I don't know if I would dislike anyone. I could see how you dislike Luke Rockhold because he kind of reminds me of a bully. Yeah. Like if he walks into a room, he's going to treat everyone like they're lower than him, and he's going to treat people like shit. And if fans come up, he'll be like, nah, fuck you. I've even heard he's been like that. But I don't know. Like I said, most fighters I'd probably be friends with. Yeah. If it wasn't, we weren't in this situation, I'd probably be friends with. They're into mixed martial arts too. They're crazy motherfuckers. I'd probably be friends with most of them. To say I dislike anyone, I don't know any of them good enough to say I dislike him.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And every time I've met a fighter, they're so nice.
Yeah.
Every time. Even Henry. People are going to Jobins are going to roast me, but Henry was a nice guy in person.
Dude, I'm sure Henry is. I mean, he puts on this act, which is just so fucking cringy, but I'm sure he is a nice guy.
Imagine if he hadn't retired and he had stayed active and was winning all the time. What conversations would they have about him?
I don't know if he would be winning all the time.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say.
His last fight was who? Dom?
Yep.
I'll have to go. We should all watch that together.
Yeah,
again.
rewatch that. You'll be like, oh, damn.
Okay.
It'll make you a little bit more confident when Suge fights him.
Okay.
Or how Marlon Moraes pieced him up in the first round of their title fight and then gassed out.
Yeah.
Blew his shoulder out and came back in the second round and won, though.
He's a fucking stud.
That was impressive.
There's no lie that kid's not a fucking stud.
Yeah. And to come back and beat Demetrius Johnson, who still look what he's doing outside the UFC. It's crazy.
Corey, what do you think about the old buggy chokes? And you ever hit them in training? I think those buggy chokes are fucking dangerous. I think it's dangerous, though, for white belts to learn those chokes. I think a white belt should really develop some sort of guard, whether it's an open guard, whether it's butterfly guard, whether it's half guard. Develop some sort of guard where you're not letting people pass. I think it's a dangerous choke for people to start hitting early on because you need to develop more of your game. But, dude, that choke is dangerous. That choke is dangerous from half guard. I mean, J-Rod, the kid that beat me at the trials, he came out with a DVD of all buggy chokes. He hits buggy chokes from full guard. He hits buggy chokes from half guard, side control. I'm like,
I got top mount on Warlike pretty easy last night.
He did not get top mount on me. He
grabbed my back.
He grabbed my back from behind. I swam on top. It was money.
So he swam up top, flipped him over, reversed him, got on top. But then he was trying to do some ankle thing. And I'm like, oh, what are you going to do? Warlike? And so I just took side control. And then he's like, all right. And then he was like, all right, stop Schmitt.
He was pouring sweat on me. It was 20 seconds in.
You're sweaty, Schmitt. You're sweaty.
Why are we sweating so hard? Wait, did Sean ever release where you guys fought or no?
Just on OnlyFans.
Yeah, only on OnlyFans.
Why does he make that pub?
I don't know.
He should. A lot of people have been asking for it too.
The jiu-jitsu ones.
He'll make it pub. Yeah. Just ask him.
And we should have a third thing go down, and I'm not fucking touching you before I go with him.
My God.
We'll see.
Don't use that excuse again.
We'll see, bud.
Yeah, because is that one on YouTube where War chokes out Schmitty?
It's up there for the world to see.
We'll link that in the description.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think that buggy choke's fucking dangerous, but I think you should develop other areas of your game before you start just being like, I love the buggy choke. I tapped out a purple belt. It's like, well, you're not going to tap out a world champion black belt. So things that work at that world-class level, that's the stuff you should be kind of focusing on, in my opinion. Tyler Conway, Red, I want to make it to the UFC. I've been busting my ass, bro. Take me under your wing, coach me up, and let's get there together. If you're down, I'll go to your gym tomorrow and sign up. Okay, I'll tell you what, Tyler. Come into the gym, sign up. Don't miss a jiu-jitsu class, and don't miss one of Drakkar and Courtney's MMA classes for 3 years. Don't miss one. Come in here and watch if you're hurt. 3 years, don't miss a practice, and then I'll talk about coaching. Okay, Tyler? Let's see if you can commit to that, brother. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Troy Reynolds, best foods to stay full when cutting. God, that's always a tricky one. When you're cutting weight, you're always... That was one of my favorite things to do when I was cutting weight. Go to Sprouts and just look at shit that I could eat. Something that had barely any fucking sodium, something that had barely any calories. I mean, some of the plainer popcorn's a good idea. Some of the rice cakes, they're not a bad idea. A good dessert is a good organic apple with some almond butter and a little bit of honey is really tasty. I mean, there's nothing really that sticks out. I like the Zevias because they kind of fill your stomach up with the carbonation, so they make you think you're full. Top 3 post weight cut meals and top 3 post fight meals. Top 3 post weight cut meals. I mean, Dan Garner talks about this all the time. You try to eat stuff that your body's used to digesting, because you weigh in, you do this cut, and then you you flood your gut with all this shit food or all these different oils from a shit restaurant. And then you have gas the whole time, and then you get in your fight and you're literally worried about throwing up the whole time, and then worried about the fight and fuck yourself. 3 post-fight meals, dude, it's hard to beat pizza. You fucking suck down a couple pizzas and that's it. Does Strange help you get more intimate with Mariah? I don't really get Strange that much. I wish I did more, but I really don't. But does it help me get more intimate? Yeah.
Her scooting you around like a little fucking dog is what makes you and Mariah more intimate.
But dude, but for real though, if I smash another girl's biscuits and Mariah knows about it, and she accepts it, and I come home to her, I'm like, holy fuck, like, you are legit the coolest girl in the fucking world, and I love you so much, and we have great, phenomenal sex. Every time I've gotten Strange, that's what's happened. But I think if you don't have a very, very solid relationship, you don't truly love each other and truly trust each other, you can't do that. Because I think a lot of guys, if there's something missing in their relationship, and then they go out and get Strange, then they maybe start catching feelings for that girl, and they maybe start falling for that girl, and then that's going to create the complications. So I think you have to be very solid, and I think not that many people are very solid in your relationship for that to be okay.
That would have been a good question for Mariah. I would have liked to have seen her in, like when she goes with guys and then comes back to you. Is it more intimate?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully she's never been with another guy. I mean, she has the freedom to, and she hasn't, so...
All right, Mariah, hit me up.
Yep. No, but that's a good question. And I think, like I said, dangerous. If you're listening to this and you're like, show your girl this, and you're like, see, let me do it, and then you go start catching feelings for that girl, it's like, dude, now you fucked it up. And I think a lot of guys would. But I always make sure if it is with a girl, that girl knows I'm in a very good relationship with a great girl, and I'm not looking to change that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not looking to build a relationship with another girl. I'm just not, because I have my partner and I have a lot of things going on, so I don't have time to build that.
What do they say back to that? Have you gotten some crazy responses?
Some have been like, I don't really want to hang out then, because they want a relationship, and it's like, all right, well, then that's good. I would put that out there then. Mm-hmm. Or some are like, perfect. Some are perfect. I don't really have time for a relationship either, so it works out good just being honest like that.
Yeah.
Then sneaking around, like probably 98% of people do.
Yeah, it's sad.
Literally. Yeah. 98% probably.
Being able to be open and honest with your significant other is what it's all about.
And it's tough, and it's easier said than done.
100%.
Because what happens, Schmitty, when you're in a relationship for 5 years or more, and you're like, fuck, I'm just kind of
stagnant.
I'm just trying to, we live together now. I see her at work. I'm kind of craving some other puss. Maybe you want to look at porn on your phone? So now you got to hide it. Or do you tell her, be like, hey, I'm going to look at porn on my phone. You're not really doing it for me right now. And it's nothing against you. I love you. You're my person.
You know what it does?
What do you do? What do you do? Do you go tell them that you're going to look at porn, or do you?
when you're caught in the act, you want to know?
No, you don't get caught.
It happened to me. You want to know what happened?
Yes, give me it.
Real quick. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm with my buddy Mo, who you met.
You were watching porn at Buffalo
No,
Wild Wings?
no.
Yeah, with Mo.
No, hold on. Let me explain.
Okay,
Let me explain.
go.
We're with our group watching fights, girls right next to me. Mo's like talking to the boys, like, you know that you can, this is when something new had happened with iPhones where you could see your search history. You know you can see your search history now? He's like, Ricky, let me see your phone. Porn. My girl had no clue I was still watch porn.
Why didn't you communicate that to her?
I know,
Like, it's that
I was
easy.
younger, immature, and I learned right then. I was like, damn, it hurt her. I could see it hurt her. And
Oh, for sure.
yeah, dude. So, and then that's why I was like, damn. Because, you know,
Did
when
you
you're...
want to put a fist through Mo's fucking jaw?
Oh, I wanted to kill him. But that I didn't. You know what I mean? And still to this day, I give him shit. But it's not his fault because at the end of the day, who should have, like... Hey babe, I jerk off when you're on your period or you're away with your family somewhere. I'm gonna jerk off.
And she goes, I'm not good enough.
I know that. Then
And what do you say?
Like, well, then how about you send me some nudes of you or something when you're gone? Like,
But still, even if she sends nudes, doesn't mean you're not gonna look at porn a little bit.
if she says and that's the thing. If I was with my girl back then, and I was open to her. I was like, hey, do you mind if I jerk off to porn when you're not
And
around?
she said, I'm not fucking good enough. Why do you need to do that? What do you say?
I think I would have been slapped with it. Like, damn, you're right. And I won't.
And then you just sneak it in the bathroom.
No.
Yes, you would.
No,
you
dude.
wouldn't just give it.
I swear, dude. I swear, I would try and be a little devil and be like, okay, well then, how about you send me a little fingering video when you're going? Like, you know that new porn you like on your Reddit where girls are doing shit in the grocery stores and shit. Like, send me a little nip when you're shopping, babe. Something like that.
So there's gonna be a point when you find a girl. Schmitt, that you'll never look at porn again, or you'll never it to another girl.
Dude, you already know. If I had that one girl, bro.
No, I know,
bro.
But you think there's a point where that's gonna happen?
I would like, dude.
Just say yes or no.
I can't get a girl to like me, champ.
I know, but eventually you're gonna, dude. Probably a couple years from now, you're gonna be like, God, remember when I didn't have a girl? And you're gonna have your girl.
I'm so much happier.
And then you're just jaying off to porn in the bathroom.
I gotta communicate this with her. If like, hey, are you cool with this?
Can't wait to hear about this.
Because I'm gonna be jerking off when you're not around, babe.
And it's easy, right?
Dude, or when Schmitty's girlfriend's fucking finger blasting herself some big black cock.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Or, hey, you know, there's some guys like Suga Shane. Oh, never mind. I won't even say it now. If you can get to the level where you're having your girl jerk you while you're watching porn, you probably do it too, you sick bastard.
I mean, I don't know if that's sick bastard, but I definitely do it.
That's levels.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with, if she's okay with me jerking it to some porn while she's gone?
But if she's not, that's what I'm saying. You'll sneak it. That's what everyone else does.
No.
I know a lot of people who sneak the porn.
Well, then they need to quit lying to themselves and their significant other because you're lying to
He'll
yourself.
just have Dairy Queen instead. It's fine.
No.
And he'll jerk off to porn while he's eating Dairy Queen.
I get ridiculed for Dairy Queen. I will tell you every time I have it. And put up some cameras in the house. Let's get on that. Warlike wanted to get. We were talking about that.
I don't want to see you full mount on Warlike making out with Warlike.
Or Brendan wearing the wig in the house.
Yes, exactly.
I am glad that I get held accountable. It makes me better.
Okay, Cole Icefield, what's the most important part of your day? I mean, there's a bunch of important parts, but probably definitely the morning. I mean, waking up and having a good, solid morning routine. I think that's probably the most important part. Starts the day off and makes the whole day better. And then at night, it's preparing to have another good day. So at night, not drinking caffeine super late and not eating a fuck ton of food right before I lay down, or just setting myself up for a good night's of sleep. And then I wake up and have a great morning. So those are both pretty important parts of my day. Eric, if you could only pick 3 daily habits, rituals, would you identify as the most crucial? Fuck, that's a hard one. Probably the ones I just said. Set myself up for a good night of sleep, waking up, and having a good morning routine. Probably those. And making sure I stay hydrated. I think most people aren't very hydrated. So making sure I'm very hydrated at all times. Okay, cream beans. I'm sure with how big Sugar has gotten and how many eyes are on him, going through camps and having these big fights adds some level of stress and nerves to you, since his performance are not a reflection of him, but of you too. Do you think you would want to help and guide other athletes in the future in their UFC careers after Sean retires as much as you've helped him, or are you all going to ride off in the sunset? No, I mean, I got my academy now. I'm definitely going to help people try to achieve some of their mixed martial arts goals. If they want to be really good at jiu-jitsu, or if they want to be really good at fighting, I want to take all the stuff that I've learned and give it to them. So I definitely want to help more people.
You're going to produce another Suga Shane, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, possibly too. I mean, in Phoenix, and even in my gym already, there's so many good athletes that have a lot of potential. Okay, Luke Champo. Nihilism is the rejection of morality and belief that life is meaningless. Ryan Holiday says, this is for losers. I think it's very freeing. I didn't choose to be born and have to do all this shit. I'm going to do what I want, Tim. Okay, Luke. There we go.
Right on, Luke.
Yeah.
Because life
is
too
beautiful.
deep
For me.
Life's so beautiful.
Angel Martin, what is the average rent for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Peoria area? Probably, what do you think, Jay? $1,300-$1,400? 2-bedroom, 1-bath? Probably not a super nice one, but yeah, $1,200-$1,300. I'm sure you could get into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
You guys are a real estate fucking pod now, or what?
Yeah, no shit. Luke, also, if God was proven to be real or not real, concrete proven, would the world be a better place or a worse place? I think if God was proven to be real, it'd be a better place.
Really?
I think so.
Suicide would go up.
I don't think so.
But then what if that one God is not everyone's God, the God that they believe in, you know?
Okay, so that's different.
That was deep as fuck.
That's
Holy
that's
shit.
different. That's
Yeah.
different. But if the God was proven to be real, it'd be pretty that's
No,
the God.
but there could be one God. Like you say, Jesus Christ, that's the one God. He was there. Mm-hmm. But who's to say that the people who believe in Buddhism or different types of religion, they just don't accept that as their God.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Suicide.
Because initially I was like, well, now there's a proven God. People are going to be like,
But people don't accept that. I mean.
Yeah, 100%. Even if it's proven fact.
Sean beat Peter Yan. People will not accept that as a proven fact.
Yeah, say the God wasn't Jesus or Jehovah or whoever you call it. And Michelle says, no, Michelle wouldn't accept
nope,
it. She's
not my God.
She wouldn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's a good question. Hard to say, Luke. Zachary, does smashing random puss give you better appreciation for the sex you have with your girl?
It's a repeat.
It is a repeat, and I think yes. I think it really does. It really fucking does. Do I think that would be the case for everyone? No.
People got to get over that jealousy, dude. It's hard because, it's not that you see them. I hate when you guys kind of say, oh, do you own them? You own them? It's like, no, I don't own them. It's just that passion, oh, that's all we need is each other type shit.
So, yeah, the own them.
Not own them because she's free to do whatever she wants.
But if she does, then what?
Well, if you have that, you got to have, it's communication. If you got that, hey, you can go hang out with dudes, but don't cheat on me. You can go hang out and do whatever you want. You want to go to Paris with some dude? Go for it. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to be sucking his dick and fucking him, let me know. And then, maybe we'll just, hang
then
the
what?
gloves up, baby.
Yeah.
You go to Paris and fuck dudes.
It's just so tough. It's just relationships. I think it's just so different for every single person. There's not fucking one way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's preached that there's one way to do it. And that one way to do it clearly doesn't fucking work.
And dude, it's so tough. Why can't we as guys, how many guys can't accept having a really hot girl as a friend and as friends? Because you're so emotionally tied to
I think that's you.
I know, dude. I deal with it too.
Well,
But
it's because of our ball sack.
Yeah.
It gets horned up when it sees a pair of titties.
Yeah.
Or a puss or a butt, and you know that puss is there. It's I think it's just in our fucking nature.
Right? It's tough.
But there is ways to shut it off. There is ways. I mean, just to block it. I guess not shut it off, just block it. Block it and just be like, no, nope. I just can't because I have to with my students. There's cute girls that are students, but it's no, I'm your fucking professor in jiu-jitsu. I do not want to think that way in here because we're here to get good at jiu-jitsu.
But
it's fucking hard. Trust me, it's hard, but I do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Jace Davis is the longer one. Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix is great. Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock went on Jerry Reynolds, said they have been doing research into how humans erected megaliths, and they think it may be the use of sound you're going to tune in when he goes back on Jerry the next few months. By the way, this is all great stuff you're doing. You and Sean have helped change my life. My relationships are all improving, and my jiu-jitsu has kept my mind at ease for 2.5 years now. Appreciate everything, brother. Gonna come stay at the Airbnb when you get it going. Good shit, Jades.
Same.
Hell yeah.
Any advice for going on a first date with a chick, Timbo? It's from our brother Declan Flynn. Oh, fuck.
Be confident.
It's easy to say be confident, but it's just, I feel like with a girl, it's so hard because you're wanting to score this girl. So you're wanting to maybe act a way that you think she wants you to be. But I feel like it's just best to be yourself, which is easier said than done. And if she doesn't like your true self, then it's not going to work. If she does, then great. But it's hard.
Yeah, I'd say just go into it with like nothing to lose, everything to gain, you know?
Yeah. I remember the first time I took Mariah on a date, I had this old shitty Honda Civic. I'm like, God. And she had like this nice car. I thought she was rich, but it was her parents' car. So I'm like, God, this girl's sexy and she's rich. I'm going to borrow my buddy's truck and take her on the date and not tell her it's my buddy's. So I'm trying to like look like I'm this certain way. Thankfully it worked out, but I'm like, I get it. You want to score this chick, so you want to act the way you think she wants you to act. But I think it's just best to just be yourself, humor. What girl doesn't like fucking humor and laughing? No, for real.
It's just harder for me to get past that part. Because I'm good at, I could do that all day. Mm-hmm. And I think if you don't think about getting, like if you go on a date, you're like, oh, I want to get pussed tonight. Get rid of that. Go in there thinking, I'm going to go have a good time with this girl and show her that with me, it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think with you, Schmitt, I think you're slowly getting more and more confident.
Thank you.
I think before you were just like every little thing that could make you insecure would.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm ugly. Blah, 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 blah. But I think you're slowly getting more confident. And I think it's going to help.
I'll skirt up on my 2015 Malibu. No shame, baby. Skirt up.
Skirt up on what?
On a date with my 2015 Malibu. Like how, because you were afraid to take your...
Yeah, I mean, that was just me being a pussy.
I'll skirt up on that bitch. Easy.
100%. When you get the munchies, do you find getting organic makes much of a difference? I do. I mean, with the munchies, I was telling one of my students, Paul, because he fucking goes and every little urge he gets, he'll go to Chick McFlay.
Chick McFlay.
What is it? Chicken McFlay? Chick-fil-A, or just something shitty and just eat it and just like have a big fucking blood sugar rush. But I'm like, dude, if you go to Sprouts and you get some jerky or you get some salted almonds and then get like a kombucha or some drink, it's pretty fulfilling. It gives you that salty. It gives you it curves your cravings, and it's not shitty. So I think it's definitely better to go get a healthy snack like that, like if it's jerky or some nuts or decent trail mix. And a kombucha, or they have so many good bars out these days that don't have a ton of ingredients and good shit. So it's easy to go grab a better snack than something shitty like some chips or some shit or DQ or McFlurry.
Working on it. Hey, I have a body shot lined up with you.
Dude, I'm just joking. If you hit a fucking McFlurry in a blizzard once a week, big fucking deal. But if you're hitting it 3 times a week, and then you're complaining about your body, it's like
you're blaming on being sad too.
Exactly.
Before that DQ, I have been doing really good, champ. And then guilty. I'm going to be honest and open with you, champ. The Vegas boys came down. We got pizza.
I'm celebrating with the boys.
I'm hosting. Okay. And then boom, Warlike comes down out on us. And what did we have?
Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Cheesecake. Was it good?
It was good.
It was really good. Fries. Or no, Walmart.
Wherever, grocery store.
Walmart.
Little cheesecake, that's all right.
But guess what? It was you learn, you go on, and you fucking stay focused. Just because I did that,
you're slowly climbing.
Yeah,
you're slowly climbing.
But if I did do better on certain things, like even War was telling me, if I just tighten up on a couple more things, big improvements can happen.
Yep. You ever coming back to MMA or BJJ? I definitely jiu-jitsu. I want to do the trials again. I want to do the world championships fucking every year I can. MMA, like I said, if something was like, damn, they got me fired up to train for, maybe. But right now I got a lot of shit going on.
So Tim, can I interject there?
Yep.
We always have this question in our friend group where I'd love to hear you guys' answer, but ours is always, if you had to do a UFC fight right now and you had to fight one guy in the UFC, you could pick whatever weight class you want, but you think he's the best matchup for you and you could kick the shit out of him. Who's your matchup?
Who's that kid? Who's that one kid? Who's the 1 and 3, the black guy?
Oh, Mike Jackson.
That's it, baby.
Coming in.
TKO first round. Let's go.
Shooty, who's your guy? Who you taking? Who's your fight?
Well, it has to be a heavyweight.
It could be anybody in the UFC.
including girls.
Including girls.
I mean, if you want to pull a Sono.
Oh, God. I'm going to say Tai Tuivasa.
Oh, Schmitt.
Yeah, that's not even a
That- you
favorable
know why?
matchup.
Do you want that to be your last day alive?
Do you know why?
Because it could be.
Fighting's always followed me my whole life, and I just never did it. I feel like I've always had a thing where like, damn, Bam Bam's. If I'd have been in the UFC, I would have been like Bam Bam.
Well, if you take that fight right now, he walks straight at you,
Running.
fucking crumples you with a left hook,
Just like
turns
his
your
last
head
fight.
sideways, so you get concussed very bad. You fall down, you hit the back of your head, and now you're very concussed. You
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
don't even come back the same.
Oh, yeah.
That's your choice.
Well, just for the fans.
If you think you don't have confidence now, wait until you get knocked out in 30 seconds.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, would you recommend starting a business with friends? This is Jake Legger. If so, what are some good boundaries to have to keep business and friendship separate? I mean, that's tough. I mean, with starting a business with a friend, you gotta really from the beginning say, hey, you're gonna do this 100%, and I'm gonna do this 100%. That this is your job and this is my job, compared to like, okay, we're just gonna go into it, and then one kid starts half-assing it, and then you're doing everything, and you guys are still splitting things 50-50. I think you gotta be upfront about that, which I think would be tough. I think the friend would need to be a very good friend, and the friendship would have to become before the business, and then, like I said, be able to communicate.
If it's something you're starting and you believe in the bigger picture, and that it's bigger than you two. What you're doing is bigger.
Jeremy Atkin, what kind of stretching recovery routine do you recommend for recovery? Have you been reading any good books lately? I've been reading a handful of different books. Stretching routine's been the same. We put it on Patreon a long time ago. Mariah did it, and I pretty much do that thing a lot. Keep myself loose. It's mostly some yoga stretches and then staying hydrated. And like I said, the Thorne supplements, dude. The Thorne supplements, the PMs, the AMs, the fish oils, the magnesium that Dan Garner talks about, how important those are, and they're so cheap. If you're on Patreon, they're 30% off, so they're really cheap. Other than that, we'll put the link in the bio. 15% off the Thorne supplements is quality shit, and I think that's important when it comes to recovery. Jake Dinnan, yo Timbo, I know you talk about healthy eating habits, but do you have any go-tos currently that you have been eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that are organic and healthy? A lot of times for breakfast, I just hit the 3 eggs, an apple, avocado sometimes, but it's been different. It's different a lot, but nothing that sticks out. I like the oatmeal too, which is good. Dolling it up, you can really doll up the oatmeal a lot of ways. Maka's Wi-Fi, best piece of advice you would give to your younger self? Fuck, that's a tough question. The best piece of advice, probably just if I could go back and I'm talking to my, just say keep going.
Yeah, stay the
keep
course.
going. Hey, it's gonna be okay. Like don't stress, but just keep working. It's gonna be all right. Yo Tim, what's the best jiu-jitsu tools to use to beat a wrestler, and who could I watch some film to beat a wrestler? What are you talking? Are you wanting to beat a wrestler? In what way? In an MMA fight? Or you want to beat a wrestler in a jiu-jitsu match? Probably a jiu-jitsu match you're talking about.
Can I say something on the last one?
Yep.
I think I would have told myself, fuck what people think. I think that's what stops a lot of people from chasing their own dreams. This guy.
Well, I mean, being vulnerable is tough,
Yeah,
dude.
this guy. Imagine if he.
I don't know if it is that. Is it that? Because he claims he doesn't have the right equipment.
Me and Brendan started with bare minimum.
I don't even have the bare minimum yet.
But you're gonna.
But I'm going to. And I'm doing, like, I run the Clips channel just literally off my iPhone. Mm-hmm. So.
But I think if you have that thought of, oh man, what are people going to think? Stop that.
I know, because it is easy to think that way, because you're thinking in this small little bubble. What are my friends going to think? What are my parents and my family going to think? But it's like, dude, you have the potential to reach so many more people than just what's in your little bubble. I think that crumples most people. Yeah. I think there's so many fucking super talented people out there that you'll never, ever hear about because they're scared to just be vulnerable.
Yep.
But jiu-jitsu tools to beat a wrestler, it just depends what we're talking. Like I said, I mean, the Kimura grip alone, when people are shooting on you, a single legs, Kimura's not a bad idea, because the Kimura lock is illegal in wrestling. If you take a wrestler's back and you slap a body triangle on there, that's another thing that's illegal in wrestling. So they're not really sure what to do with a body triangle. And then, like I said, developing a good guard, developing a good open guard, some good butterfly guards. You get under a wrestler and you're an X guard, or you're in single leg X, or you have Delahiva, or any of these guards, that's foreign to a wrestler. So developing sweeps and stuff from there, I think would be good, Jeremy. Lenny J. But like I said, you come in, you're a brand new jiu-jitsu guy, and you're going against a kid who wrestled for 10 years. That kid's probably going to control you and dominate you. He knows how to control a person and dominate a person and be strong and not get turned easy to his back. He's going to have heavy hips. He's going to be hard to sweep. So it's going to be hard, like I said.
Technique is so hard. Like what Warlike was doing something on my legs last night with his hooks and shit. It's like when you don't know what the fuck they're doing, it's crazy.
Yeah, when you don't know what you're doing, you're guessing. And then when you're guessing, you're using a lot of fucking energy. And then that goes away quick.
Yeah.
Especially people get pissed when a white belt comes into the room and the white belt's being spazzy and just going all over. It's just like they don't know any better.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. All they have is their athleticism and strength, so that's what they're using. But they're going to fatigue. And they're going to get tired. So, I mean, good advice for a white belt is just try to slow it down. Do your best at slowing it down and just accept you're going to get beat up. You're not going to come in there as a white belt and start beating people up unless you have a crazy wrestling background or something. So just accept that you're going to get beat up and try your best at slowing things down. Lenny J, if you were to come back and fight, what would your walkout song be that gets you ready to rumble? I walked out to so many different songs, literally almost a different song every fight of my career. I picked something, and it was usually something funny. Sometimes it was some hard shit, but
dude, you coming into like some native dance with the drum, dum, bum, bum, bum. I mean, that would have been sick.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Bucci's G, what's good, Timbo? So me and my lady were stoned the other night talking about free will versus determinism, and shit got deep. I started off leaning towards free will, but as we discussed it further, I find myself believing it more in determinism. I really feel like all of this shit is written. I don't know. I could be crazy. What are your thoughts? I mean, I could see how you say that, because a lot of the shit we do, we don't even know why we do it. It's just based on our conditioning and what our parents taught us, or something we learned when we were 3 or 4 years old and we don't even remember learning it. And we just like, once that just comes to mind. But then there's times when, I mean, you can make your own decision. You can make your own decision based off, not just based off your emotions and based off what you're thinking. So, I mean, that's a fucking deep, deep question. Some people say different. Sam Harris will say different than some others. Have you ever scored a MILF? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah, I have.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Mother of how many?
2.
Holy stepdad Schmitt. Did you last?
A couple minutes. Probably about 5. Yeah, it's been a long time, champ. That was a long time.
It's fucking hard to last, dude.
Droughts
That's no
are-
easy thing.
Wow, the brain chemicals of the first time in a long time.
Well,
you know what I mean?
and the sensations.
Yeah,
They get you.
the touch.
Yep. Suit Regs, you experience any negatives of being a content creator? How do you deal with them? Fuck, I mean, negatives, dude, it's not as easy as you think. Especially having, I mean, pretty much 3 podcasts. So this one, the one I do for Patreon, and then the Timbo Sugar Show, that's a lot of fucking subjects a week. And to keep every single week coming up with new subjects and new subjects and new subjects, and then having to think ahead for guests and stuff, there's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot. It's easier said than done. Any other negatives? Probably not, with just the time. I mean, there's always going to be negative people that are just talking shit in the comments, but I mean, it's a bunch of fucking losers.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that that's not a person, a high level person to where that you'd look up to and that you'd want respect from. There's a very good chance that person's a very sad loser.
I just thank them for their comments, man, because all their comments just makes it look so much better on the YouTube videos.
They do add the analytics 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Good, bad, or ugly. It's all good, baby.
Yeah. Buon Dead. Would you vote to legalize to the death gladiator fights if it was on a ballot? If it was a purely optional and voluntary, no one can be forced to do it, but if you want to be a gladiator, you can sign up.
Fuck it, I'd watch some gladiator fights.
I don't
go to Rome.
That'd be, I don't know, dude. Like, okay, so you sign up for a gladiator fight. Boom! I clip this guy with the left hook. Now I have the option to stomp his skull.
Dude, it's like Mortal Kombat. You just gotta finish his
Did you
ass.
watch it?
I would, honestly.
I don't know if I could watch it, but maybe if it was like if it was convicted pedophilia people.
It could just be
Or
inmates.
pedophiles.
What if there are just two guys locked up life sentences? The winner gets out of prison.
Or like the winner stays in prison, but they get some good foods
Yeah.
or something,
Get
and then
steak.
they decide to scrap, and you know that they did some fucked up shit. Then yeah, I'd watch it. Like yeah, you guys. But the thing about, I mean, yeah, if they were convicted, but so many people are wrongfully convicted. That's
But he
a
did say
fucking-
on the question they had their choice if they wanted to do it or
Yeah,
not. So
true. Yeah, I'd probably fucking tune in. Spencer Paul, yo Timbo, why don't the Timbo Sugar Show hit Spotify anymore? Usually takes JX a week for the episode to hit Spotify. So he tries to get the most clicks on YouTube, and then we throw it on Spotify. So JX knows what he's doing. Have you ever considered using PEDs, performance enhancing drugs? Why are you fighting? If yes or no, what was your reasoning? If it ever went through my mind, which it did, because I fucking want to be healthy, dude. And I'm like, I'll do anything to just be fucking healthy just so I can train. That would be the reason. So, Landon, how many hours? The thing about the PEDs, though, once you do them, they could fuck with you. I mean, then you don't know how they're affecting your health, especially if it's not a smart person helping you with it. And then it's not like you can compete with the PEDs. I guess some people do, but you probably have to have a lot of money and some really smart people behind you.
yeah, and then you end up like Liver King paying fucking $12,000 a month for fucking PEDs.
I mean, that's probably nothing for him, though, when he's making some serious bread.
True.
Alex Ho, what's a champion's mindset? How does it set you apart? How do you develop it? I mean, I definitely think you can develop it.
You gotta go through that fire.
I think you can develop it. I think you can see someone in the way a champion acts and start to copy it, and then just have the habits and just stay consistent with those good habits. And then you start seeing the results you get from those good habits, and you're like, wow.
Handling the loss.
If I keep these habits up, I can fucking do anything I want. Then you start thinking that handling a loss.
Yeah. Like how you handle losses, I think, is what makes a good champion too. Like a great.
It's always interesting about, some of the fighters in the UFC that have so many losses, but they're still top tier guys. Those are fucking bad motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah.
Bad motherfuckers.
Robbie Lawler, which he just had to pull out. Which
Robbie
was
Lawler, Masvidal. Who's another person with just shitload of losses that's up in the top?
Nate Diaz was for
Yeah.
a ton. Michael Johnson, Clay Guida, even two of those guys that just fought this weekend.
Yep. If you had to trade all your time and experience with jits to another profession, what would it be and why? It'd have to be to another martial art.
Ping pong.
Tim would have been a gynecologist or what?
Oh God! Can you imagine the horror stories? I'm supposed to have that puss doctor on my side. I think he got let go or something, so maybe he'll come on now.
End up fingering a client
I
or
don't
what?
know. But I remember asking him, I'm like, "Do you ever see some like nice pusses?" And he's like, "Yeah, but the bad pusses outweigh the good pusses."
Oh damn! Oh God!
God,
And
that 60-year-old fucking lunch lady.
Hey, what
You
up, champ?
talk about routine and discipline? Ask this fucker what time he gets up.
You want to sit here?
I don't.
time?
Ask him what time he gets up.
We have about 5 minutes. You can sit down. What time do you usually wake up?
Around 11.
11
So
a.m.
would
Which
weed,
is, yeah.
would weed be the cause of that?
No, I would just say I don't have anything. Like my day starts at noon jiu-jitsu.
And how old are you?
I'm 25. But I'm staying up late, man. I'm doing my videos late at night. I don't know, just that's the way she
I
works
wonder
out.
if War lived down here and was around us, if his routine would change a little
I
bit.
set an alarm today. I woke up at 8:45.
I feel like it would.
Yeah, you are who you surround yourself with. I
So-
mean, but you might be going to Dairy Queen and McDonald's if that's the case, if you live in Jobin House.
I mean, like I was saying, if Schmitty goes to Dairy Queen or McDonald's once a week, big deal.
How good I look, champ.
But is it three
That
times
is a
week?
big deal.
Is it 3 times
Once
a week?
that's
There's zero reason to go to Dairy Queen or McDonald's. If you're craving shit like that, go to Sprouts. You work there. There's an organic section with organic ice cream and a lot more quality shit to get that. Dairy
Remember
Queen and
me and
McDonald's,
you?
there's no fucking excuse. Me and you did go there, then we learned. Did you know
Yes.
that? Who taught us? We didn't have someone sitting there going, why the fuck you eating this shit? We're like, I want to be better. I want to be better. I know this isn't good for me. I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
That was us.
I agree. Yeah, because there was no one back then. Because Sean and I used to go to Baskin Robbins. I used to get triple scoops. There was a point where I went 2 times in one day, scoops on scoops.
Oh.
I brought Mariah. Yeah,
been a dark day.
Listen to this story.
we
though.
used to go Dairy Queen.
But not very
I-
often. The
Yeah.
Dairy Queen, Baskin might have been kind of once a week thing.
Yeah, and we never really had anyone to tell us, hey, don't eat that shit.
But we were also performing athletes trying to.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to get pussy. I want to look jacked. I'm not going to eat that shit.
He's getting there.
I got pussy with no eyebrows.
Yeah, but he'd wear his beanie over his
I do what
over
I
his
had to
eyebrows
do.
right here.
No one else fucking.
Yeah, so that was good. Oh yeah, no, that question though. What was the question here? If you had to trade all your time and experience, oh, you said gynecologist. The gynecologist, but I heard he said that girls would come in and just not care about a shaving, not care about a washing, and just spread that puss open and say, "What's going on down there?"
Tim's kind of woman right
So
there.
if you want to fucking, oh god,
You're around someone with bad breath and you can smell it from a distance.
yeah, and I swear to God, the people with bad breath are the people that work at fucking like cell phone places, like Verizon, or a lot of bankers too. I think they drink coffee and they just let it go stale in their mouth, and I'm like, do you know your breath smells like turds?
Dude, speaking of teeth and stuff, I just came back from Invisalign. Was there for like an hour with my mouth and they're just going like shaving down shit. That is just.
Let me see your.
It's my
That's
last
kinda
try, so I'm getting retainers now. I'm done.
You're getting the wire
I don't know. He's ordering the retainer. No, I don't think so. I think they're just like these, but better.
because you went to the same place I did, or different.
Yeah.
I think you might get the fucking wires. The wires are nice though, because then you don't even have to wear the retainers. But my wires got blown the fuck out from that knee, so I don't even have a wire. I have
That knee
one
I
on
hit
the
Peter
top.
with.
Yeah.
JJ's about to hold some mitts for me here in a bit.
What up, JJ? I'm gonna have Eddie Chaw on next week,
Damn, Smoke Siggy's eating Oreos. That'd
and
be lit.
he's been training at Henry, so we're gonna have some good debates.
Oh,
So that'll be interesting.
I think Aljo chokes Henry.
It's a very good chance.
So
There's a very good chance, and I don't give a fuck how good of a wrestler you are against the fence. You get your hands locked, you're taking down anyone.
yeah. Well, even if Henry takes Aljo down,
Yeah,
Aljo's
exactly.
good, dude. Off his back.
Yeah, for sure.
So
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the pod, click the subscribe button. Thanks, Warlike. Thanks, Schmitt. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Jax.
You're welcome,
See you
man.
guys next week. Love
Glad I
y'all.
could be here, man.
Bye
Glad I
bye.
could be here.